year, maybe. I know you're gonna dig this.
Well, for the second to one, and now they got the man trapped at third and hanging out. And second and two, handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a little room, lot more room, and he's off to the races.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and co-host Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Happy Thanksgiving pre-Eve, I guess you want to say it is. Look like I might be the Lone Ranger tonight. Send out prayers to Dana and his family, and make sure Dad's doing a little bit better from what Dana's telling us. Also, for those out there that need just a little help to get through the holiday season, you know, we're keeping you in prayer because when the holidays come around, memories come up about family, about friends, and it makes it get a little difficult sometimes. You know, I miss coming to the house and smelling my mom's pound cake in the oven. Her and the greens cooking on the stove, things of that nature. So you know, it's kind of hard for a lot of people during the holidays. So please keep them in prayer as we go through the holiday time. Let's get started on some things here. I think we got Lou. Or is that Lou on the line? We got Lou on the line with us tonight. Okay, wait a minute. Let me see what's going on here. I might have him on mute. I apologize. All right, Lou. We got you. We got you live, Lou. Okay. Guess he's gonna try to come back in. Sooner or later. Okay. Lou, can you hear me, Lou?
Yep.
All right. Hey, Lou. So Thanksgiving.
Sorry, I thought I jumped the gun early.
Thanksgiving's coming up, you know, shortly. So, are you going away for Thanksgiving, or will you be at home with your family? What will you be doing for Thanksgiving?
I really don't know. I might have family over here and whatnot, so it depends. I know I'll be on somewhere, but I think family will be coming in to visit and whatnot, so it might be tied, but down on Saturday.
Okay, and I mean that's the part I love about the holidays is family coming together and just chilling, having fun, watching sports and things of that nature. It just gives it a better vibe, man, when you have someone sitting next to you that you can relate to about sports. So again, everybody, you guys enjoy your holiday, um, and just have fun. Now I'm gonna say this to you: the economy is kind of crazy right now. So if you don't want to shop, then don't go shopping. I don't know if I'm gonna go shopping. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Excuse me. I have no idea what I am going to do as far as me going shopping this year. I may do a little this, a little that. I don't know. I just don't know. Um, so let's get started. Let me see here. Any comment? No comments yet. So let's talk about college football for a minute, Lou. If you're ready to jump into that. Okay, so in college football, we supposedly got 12 teams is coming into the league, correct? I mean, going into the football playoffs, right? So the thing about it is so that we get a better understanding of this thing.
You're welcome.
so we get a better understanding of this thing. I'm gonna give you a list of teams we have out here, right? And just tell me if you think they'll lose the playoff. I mean, they'll lose this last game, week 12. They'll lose this game. It may knock them out of uh being part of. I'm not gonna say they're gonna knock them out of the playoffs, but it's gonna make it a little difficult for them to get them in. So right now, what we're looking at here, um, basically, what colors team do we think could lose in week 12? And what is a coincidence is that out of 12 teams, every team except for two play on the road. So that's something right there that we got to take a look at. So I got some people joining me on Twitter. I mean on TikTok. If you guys would like to join in, you can call me at 512-543-4662 and chime in on some things you like about sports and we talk about sports. We encourage you to call us, and let's talk about it. So we got Ohio State and Michigan. I think they got the coach now that can handle Michigan and outright beat them this year. I think they have that. I think they have Michigan's number this year. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, Michigan had an early season loss, which kind of hurt them. And Ohio State has been dominant all year, and I got to make a course they're not right to the playoffs. So this is going to be Ohio State's game to win. Just goes forward now.
So my thing is Michigan is 9-2. They're at 15. They're outside looking in the playoffs, right? So they can say, yo, this is, let's say swipe. They could say this is the playoffs for them, right? Because they know they're not going to get in at 9-2. They're going to need a whole lot of help. Even though they're at 15, they need a lot of help of getting in the top 12. They need Vanderbilt to lose. They need BYU to lose. I think BYU's is 10-1. If they lose a game, they might be out. Alabama, if they lose a game, they could be out. Say that again.
I've been impressed with Vandy and Indiana this year because Indiana's not known for football, and Vandy was a joke in football since the dawn of time. I mean, they have really stepped into their football programs this year.
Right. So, this could be the playoff game for Michigan. So now up we got Indiana at Purdue. That should be a cakewalk for Indiana. You know what I'm saying? They should go out there and handle the business like they should. I mean, the coach got this team playing at a lot of high caliber of football. Again, Indiana was known for basketball, but now they didn't flip that. They didn't flip the ball and made it a football. So we'll see how well this thing goes for Indiana. Next up, this is an interesting one: Texas A&M versus Texas. So Texas A&M is number 3. Texas is, where is Texas at? They're number 16. They would need some help as well if they could win, and they need some help. They need some help with other teams winning. But I think this is one of the most. This is a game that you definitely want to see this weekend coming up.
Yeah.
Texas A&M against Texas. Texas. I mean, you got the Manning kid playing at Texas, playing at a good level of football. So we'll see where this goes with Texas A&M and Texas. Next up, we got Georgia at Georgia Tech. I think that's a sleeper. I think that's a sleeper game. The next one is Oregon at Washington. That's a battle between each other. They've been playing each other for the longest time, so I don't know if that's going to be an easy win for Oregon. But again, everybody that I just talked about, all of them are on the road. I don't know if this is a coincidence that all these teams in the top 12 teams, except for 2, are playing on the road. I don't know if this is a coincidence or not. The next one is Ole Miss versus Mississippi State. We got a lot of stuff going on here. We got the situation with Lane Kiffin. If he's gonna stick around and stay, we know LSU is right there sniffing out his back. You know what I'm saying? They got a pocket full of money to get him out of there, or maybe he can go to Florida. I don't know. Maybe stay at Ole Miss, and work this thing out, make it better than what it's been. Um, I don't know if I'm Lane Kiffin, I don't know what I would do. I would. It's it's it, it, I would say it shouldn't be about money, but it probably is about money. Look like we got somebody else on the line. Is that my boy Devin?
Yes, sir. It's me.
What's going on, man? The job allowed you to get off to call the show today, huh?
Well, the job I have, it's very slow right now.
Okay. Well, welcome, man. Welcome. And you can chime into the chat as well. Next up, we got Texas A&M at West Virginia. I think Texas A&M should win this. Anybody think anything different, or anybody think that West Virginia has an opportunity?
I can agree with you.
Okay. The next one, we got Oklahoma versus LSU. They fired the coach. LSU is like, look, what else we got to lose? If we can't go, why should Oklahoma go? But Oklahoma's playing them at home. So that should be a good game for Oklahoma. Oklahoma should win that game as well.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Notre Dame at Stanford. That game, Notre Dame is playing Notre Dame's playing a really good football right now. That running back they have could be the number one running back coming out the draft if he chooses to leave Notre Dame.
Yeah, but Stanford plays tough
this year. Then we got Alabama and Auburn. That's always a toss up, but Alabama has something. Alabama can't lose because 9-3 can't get you in. Only thing 9-3 get you in is a bowl game. It don't get you into the playoffs. Those two losses really hurt Alabama right now, but I think they're going to handle their business with Auburn. I don't even think the game's going to be close.
I don't know about that.
You think it's going to be close?
I do. I mean, Auburn is capable of Alabama. I've seen it happen before. I wouldn't say there's a cakewalk for either team. I think I can smell an upset here.
Okay, Devin, what's your thoughts on Alabama versus Auburn? You think it could be an upset?
No, I don't think it's going to be an upset.
Okay. Next up, we have BYU and UCF. BYU's playing at home. It's a little cold out that way. It's cold. UCF is from Florida. I don't know if they're going to have a chance out there. The weather is going to be a factor. They said snowing and raining and slating but you know what though? I'm going to tell you this right now. If you're a kid, if you're a male and you love football, it ain't nothing like playing football in the snow. That is the best feeling ever. If you play football, if you never played football in snow, you're missing out, man. You are missing out. That is the best of the best. Oh my goodness, that's the best. So that could be something. Go ahead, Devin.
I never played football in the snow, but I played the other football in the snow.
You played rugby in the snow. Okay. So
no, I played the other football.
What's the other football?
Soccer.
Okay. We'll take that. Then we got Vandy at Tennessee. I think Tennessee, this could be a good game. But Vandy, this is where Vandy has to stand up and say, yo, I belong. Because they're at number 12 right now, right? 10-2 looks a whole lot better than 9-3, and you're outside looking in. You know what I'm saying? You got Miami outside looking in. You got Utah outside looking in. You got Virginia, 9-2. Tulane, Georgia Tech, all those 9-2 teams. You got my Pittsburgh Panthers at 8-3. They're 24. You got SMU at 25. So you're going to have the top 12 teams playing each other. Then you have 13 on down that will probably play each other. Then you got the other bowl games that's going to be coming on during the holiday season. I know they added maybe 2 or 3 more bowl games in there. So you're going to get if you love football, you're about to get a dose of it for real, man. I'm telling you. So in my personal opinion, I think to me, I gotta say the Texas and Texas A&M game is gonna be a good one. That's the one we probably really want to see. We really want to see that game, guys. Which game do you guys? What game? Devin, would you be willing to like sacrifice doing something else other than watching the game? You know what I'm saying? If your girlfriend said, "Baby, let's go out to dinner," but this game's going on. What game would that be in college football? And out of the 12, I said
The game that I would sacrifice.
yes,
Is that question?
yes.
I would sacrifice Oregon versus Washington.
Okay, okay, all right.
I can rewatch it on highlights or record it.
So Lou, what game would you say if your girlfriend said, "Lou, we're going to dinner tonight," and you say to her, "Baby, I can't go to dinner tonight because the football game's going on. I understand. I owe you. I love you. I'll tell you what. We'll go out another night, but we just can't go out tonight." What game is that you want to see out of these 12?
Mm-hmm. That's a tough call. But I think maybe I might want to see either. Well, I actually two. I have United States and Michigan, and I'm also interested in the Georgia Broncos between Georgia and Georgia.
Okay, okay, okay. Me, I'm sticking with Texas A&M and Texas because they're in state. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you got Alabama, Auburn, but we know that how that's going to turn out. Um, Oregon and Washington, we know that Georgia and Georgia Tech. That Georgia Tech is not that good this year. Um, so I think that's game. But to me, Texas and Texas A&M is a game that we want to watch for the simple fact that um they recruit the same kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's a interstate rivalry game. Um, that needs to be looked upon as a playoff game. And I'm telling you right now, this playoffs should be really, really good coming up. Um, I'm gonna say this too about college football. I think that, and maybe I'm being a little selfish about this whole thing, but I think they should get away from having the championship games because if you have a championship game and Ohio State loses, or Indiana would lose, or Texas would lose, or Georgia would lose, or Oregon would lose, how does that how should that affect their seeding? Because they played a good season, and one game, a championship game, makes them not a 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 seed. So I'm a little biased on that. So I would definitely not. I want them to get rid of that championship game. And get rid of the championship game. And if you want to add, I, I like it at 12, but I know they want to go to 16. I think 16 you kind of water it down because if you look at the standings right now, if you look at the standings and you go to 16, you got Texas A&M 3 losses, right? You got Virginia at 9-2. They got 2 losses. You got James Madison at 10-1. North Texas at 10-1. So how could you say that Texas at 8-3 should get in over James Madison and North Texas? They both got better records than them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not too cool. Yeah, I'm not too cool with the 16 teams. But if they were to get rid of the if they get rid of the conference play and start the playoffs that following week, I'm cool with that. I'm good. I'm good with that, man. And it just it makes for some good football. Now I tell you this though, the playoffs come and then they sit out a month and it takes. I mean, it just takes it. It don't take away from college football, but I want to see it. I want to see it every weekend up until the final weekend. You know, now they got it going into January. So again, I'm okay with it, but I ain't crazy about it. But hopefully they don't add enough that hopefully they don't add 16 teams, leave it at 12, get rid of the conference championship game, and then you got a product that people would love to see. Um, the biggest thing though is this NIL situation, and we know who all we know the SEC is in the SEC is one of the teams that have the most money. I think Oregon is like in the top 5 because of Nike. When it comes to NIL money, so again, those programs should be LSU's right there too. Those programs should be neck and neck when it comes to recruiting and helping young people when it comes to a situation helping out their family, because I think that to me is the more important. Um, that's more important to me than anything else because you're helping out a family survive in this world, put money in the player's pocket. And so if football fails and he invests his money correctly, he goes to college and get a degree. Now he got 4-year degree. He has that nest egg sitting there. Now he can go out and start his own business or do whatever he got to do to help take care of his family. And so I don't have a problem with the NIL. I don't even have a problem how the NIL works. I think that what should happen though is the NIL. Well, they're doing it now. The NIL don't start until after the bowl games are over. I think that was a good move for them. I don't know if you guys heard Nick Saban talk about his situation about the Lane Kiffin situation. He was saying that he feels like coaches should have to wait to the end of the season to move on to other greener pastures or other teams or however they may move to other teams. They should have to wait to the end of the season. Finish the season out with the team that you're with, and if you want to leave, then you leave. But if you like Lane Kiffin, if he may leave in the middle of the season, so that means they don't have him there to coach them for the bowl game that they're going to be in. I don't think that's fair to the players because the players make the sacrifice as well as the coaches. And they've already made it so that the players can't leave so early as before. Now I think the same thing should apply to coaches. It probably won't because it's all about money, you know. And the thing about it is, LSU and Florida will wait for Lane Kiffin. Um, they're they and Penn State. Nobody knows. I'm hearing the OC from Alabama could be the next head coach for Penn State. So I don't know where that's heading to. They want to keep Terry. I think it's Terry. I can't think of Terry. Terry White. I think Terry man. The coach they have right now. They want to keep him there. But you play Nebraska. Nebraska's not that good. You know what I'm saying? And Penn State kind of struggled against Nebraska as well. You know, so I don't know, guys. We'll see how this thing turns out. Um, when it comes to the bowl games and the playoff games, I'm just looking forward to it. I really am. This is one of the years that I can honestly say that I want to see some great bowl games being played. Um, and you'll have a bunch of teams like you may get a team like Penn State who's 5 and 6 go to a bowl game for the simple fact that they have a great following.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna see if you were to go and look at the stage, like you look at the American Conference, you got North Texas Mean Green who could upset the apple cart in some type of way because they should be in the top 10 regardless of the schedule. Their record speaks for itself. Tulane Green Wave or they're 9-2. So you got Tulane, you got Navy, you got Florida Bulls, you have um you got East Carolina Pirates, you got Memphis Tigers. All those teams have winning records 8-3 or better. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the ACC, you got Virginia who's 9-2, Pittsburgh 8-3, SMU is 8-3, Georgia Tech is 9-2, Hurricanes is 9-2. Then you have Wake Forest who's 8-3, right? So you have teams there that could get that should be in a bowl game, And if you go like to the Big 12 conference, you got Texas Tech Red Raiders, you got them, you got BYU, you got Utah Utes, you got Arizona State Sun Devils, you got Houston Cougars, You have Arizona Wildcats. You got Cincinnati Bearcats. You have Iowa State Cyclones. They all have whatever. They're 7-4. All have winning records. So if you're follow those teams, you're going to probably see them in a bowl game because they're going to probably add more bowl games to what's going on during the season. All right. Devin, your Atlanta Falcons, right? Your Falcons, yeah. So I see they're gonna give Justin Tucker a tryout for a field goal kicker for that team. Um I I'm pretty sure you know the history behind Tucker and his offenses with his wife, and then some situations where he got caught up like this, like Deshaun Watson with the massage parlors and things of that nature. Um, what's your thoughts on him coming to the Saints to be the field goal kicker? Now, he was falling off a little bit last year, and I think maybe because he felt like he knew he knew what his career was heading to before anybody did know. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think about it, the teams already know what's going on before we know. Once we get the information, it's been out there for a while. You know what I'm saying? But we get it in the 12th hour, and they get it in the first hour. So, are you okay with Justin Tucker coming to the Saints and maybe being the next field goal kicker?
To me, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
As all humans in this deserve a second chance.
Okay. And I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you on that. I really don't. Everybody makes mistakes. Um, it's just that if you
It's
can
not a mistake, it's a poor decision.
say that again.
It's not a mistake. It's a decision that a bad
Okay.
decision he made.
Right. Okay. So everybody makes bad decisions as long as you don't keep making the bad decisions. But my issue with that, even with Deshaun Watson, you kept on making bad decisions, knowing they were bad, and my personal opinion, I just think that with Deshaun Watson, it was a hit, it was a witch hunt for him. Um, the situation with Justin Tucker didn't get as much limelight as Deshaun Watson did for whatever reason, because they both did something that was wrong. Um, and to me, I think Deshaun Watson's more was, to my personal opinion, I think it was a setup because him and the owner wasn't getting along, um, compared to Justin Tucker's situation. So, but again, like you said, bad decision. They made bad decisions, and I tell the kids all the time. I say, you're not a bad kid. You just make bad decisions, and as long as you don't keep making the same bad decision over again, you won't be named, or they won't label you as a bad kid. But if you keep making bad decisions over and over again, then they're gonna call you a bad kid, and you can't get mad about it because you keep making the same mistakes over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully he'll get it right. I'm not doubting his talent, especially if he kicks indoors for the Saints. That's a plus for him. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully that will be a plus for the Saints going forward. I mean, for the Falcons. Is it the Falcons? Is it the Falcons? Yeah, it's no, I'm sorry. It's the Saints that he's going to try out for, not the Falcons. I'm sorry, the Saints.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the Saints.
because the Falcons already have the kickoff, Zane Gonzalez.
Yeah, it's the Saints. I'm sorry. It's the Saints that they're trying out for. I apologize for that. So that's what it is. Moving on, guys. Let's talk a little. Well, no, let's go back to college again. So, Lou, if you're Lane Kiffin, where are you going? You staying at Ole Miss, or you moving on to better pastures, as they may say, money wise? What do you do? What if you make a decision, where you going?
I think it's time to pack my things up and go elsewhere. Maybe stay in the conference, but not at the same school.
Okay, so you're saying stay at Ole Miss.
No, in the same conference, just not with Ole Miss.
Oh, stay in it. Oh, go to somebody else. Okay. Move on. Okay.
Right.
Devin, if you him, what you doing?
I'm staying with the Rebels.
Why do you think why would you stay with the Rebels?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. Okay. Hey, that's what I say. If it's not broke, don't fix it. So Devin saying stay with Ole Miss. I'ma say
Yeah, because almost he's doing well there, so why change up?
because I'm gonna say this to you. I think money's gonna talk. I'm going to pull up the NIL. Let's see if I can pull this back. I should have made a copy of this, but I didn't. Oh, where we at here? Let's see if I can find it again. College football. Okay, so top 10 highest paid college. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. I had it up here before, and I don't know what I did with it. So let me try it again. Ooh. Let's see here, program. Which college football program? Program has the most NIL money. Let's see what we got here. So, college football top 50 programs ranked by NIL efforts. So, let's go for it. Top 10. Florida State has $540 million for NIL. Auburn Tigers has 580. Oklahoma Sooner has 597. LSU has 618. Oklahoma State Cowboys, wow, they have 670. That's incredible. Georgia has 716. Florida has 763. Texas Longhorns has 766. Texas A&M, have 849. Oregon has 969. That's a top 10 right there. So I only see Ole Miss in the top 10. So Devin, that's what I'm saying. I think money might change that narrative. Number 11, you got Ohio State, 12, Alabama, Virginia, Tennessee, Michigan, Iowa, Clemson. From 16 to 20, you got Clemson, Kansas, Louisville. 21 to 25, you got Michigan State, Washington Huskies, Texas Tech, Wisconsin, Penn State. From 26 to 30, you got Illinois, West Virginia, Indiana Hoosiers, Arizona, North Carolina. And this is weird because the Hoosiers have $351 million in NIL money, and they're ranked number 2, and they're doing it on the strength of recruiting, finding the right fit, and probably some guys from the portal, because the quarterback had been at Cal, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, look, we got Curry on the line with a Curry. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Hope you guys are.
All right, Curry. Quick question for you.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin will be where next year?
Oh, man, that's a loaded question. There's a lot of jobs open. He'll probably stay where he's at. You know what?
And money talks, man, and so they got enough money to keep him there.
Okay, so Lou said he moves on, but he goes to a team in the SEC. Devin said he stays. Curry says he stays. Everything in my heart want to say that he's going to stay, but I think LSU going to throw a boatload of money at that guy. He will be the highest paid.
Yeah, to show my
He will be the
preference in it.
he will be the highest paid coach in college history. I think he goes to LSU because those guys they want to get back on the map. And I'm gonna say LSU. So Curry, real quick before we move on, we were talking about college football, and we're talking about what team could we see? Could we see an upset out of the top 12, right? To get somebody 16 through, 13 through 16 opportunity to jump in there. So we got Ohio State at Michigan. We have Indiana at Purdue, Texas A&M at Texas. That's the one. That's the game I picked. I said, my wife said to me, I want to go to dinner today. I'm gonna say, like, babe, we can't go to dinner today. How about we just order? How about we do DoorDash the food here and we watch the game here because I don't want to miss this game. That's the game that I don't want to miss. Is Texas A&M. Then you have Georgia versus Georgia Tech, Oregon at Washington, Ole Miss at Mississippi State. I think that's gonna be a good one too. Texas Tech at West Virginia, Oklahoma versus LSU, Notre Dame versus Stanford, Alabama or Auburn. I know you like this one too. BYU versus UCF. UCF got to come. They got to go to BYU. That's going to be a little cold up there. They ain't used to that kind of weather. Then you got Vandy. You got Vandy at Tennessee. So what team do you think possibly could get upset out of the top 12?
Oh, wow. I was thinking of a team that would possibly get upset, but they're not in the top 12. But and I don't see no upset, really, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I just don't think Auburn got enough to knock off Alabama. But I really don't. I don't see an upset.
Okay.
In the top 12, I don't.
Okay. So let me ask you a question.
But I do see an upset being stretched out. The upset that I see is Miami getting upset at Pitt.
Ooh, yeah. Because they trying to backdoor. They trying to backdoor Miami in the playoffs. Because if you look at predictions, they predicting they would get in. But I don't know. Pitt looks really good.
Pitt just knocked the brakes off of Georgia Tech.
Yeah, and Miami got to come to Pitt too.
And it's gonna be cold up there.
It's gonna be cold up here. Yes, it is. I can guarantee you that it's gonna be cold. Because you know how I know it's gonna be cold? Because my high school team, let's give a shout out to Harrisburg Cougars for winning the district title again 5 times in a row. As a public school, ladies and gentlemen, let me just put it to you like that. As a public school, not as a private school, not as a prep school, but as a public school, won district 5 times in a row. They would go on to play Pittsburgh Central Catholic next Saturday at 7 o'clock at Altoona. Curry, the high is supposed to be 30 at 1 o'clock, but we play at 7 o'clock. So it's gonna be in the 20s. That's gonna be a cold game. I gotta dress warm for that one. But I think we can do it. But yeah, that game looked like it could be an upset for Pitt. Pitt upsetting Cincinnati. Pitt upsetting Miami. So Curry, out of all those games, which game? If your wife said let's go to dinner, you gotta tell her she gotta sit back and relax.
It'd probably be the Alabama Auburn game because that's always an intriguing game. Sometimes they'll play them close, but probably third quarter on it'll probably get away from LSU. Auburn. I don't think they got enough horses.
Okay. Okay.
But I think that'll be a good game to watch.
Okay. Okay. Hey, and you know, I just want. I don't want to. I don't want. I don't have no ill feelings to James Franklin at all. I like James Franklin. He just couldn't get it done at Penn State. Going to the ACC, I think he has an opportunity to get that Virginia Tech team in the top 12 next year or in the top 16 to play for that national championship. He signed a contract with Virginia Tech as their next head coach. One of our high school players, we've seen him down at Georgia Tech, um, down on the sidelines, and there's several other players from that was at Penn State that flipped that might be going to Virginia Tech, which is a good thing. Good thing for James Franklin, a bad thing for Penn State. So we'll see how this thing turns out for Penn State. Excuse me, going forward. All right, all right. So let's move on. Um, in NFL. Ooh, you notice how you know I'm a Browns and Rams fan, and I take a lot of slack about being a Browns fan, but I always show up. I show up because I'm a Browns fan because of Black history. And when I was growing up, and Curry can contest this, they were really good. They were a really good team. Now they're not so good. But this is the thing. I ride and die with them. I'm never going. I'm always going to be a Browns fan. I'm always going to be a Rams fan. I'm a Rams fan because of James Harris. He's the first black quarterback to ever win a playoff game. Number 12, James Harris. Played with Buffalo, played with the Chargers, and played with the Rams, but he got the Rams in the playoffs. So I was cool with that. Was that's what I loved. And the weird thing about it, everybody, is that the Rams started in Cleveland. They were the Cleveland Rams, moved to Los Angeles, then they moved to St. Louis, then they moved back to Los Angeles, which is a coincidence. Ain't that crazy? That's crazy. But
So you should watch the Redskins fan because Doug Williams was the first black to win a Super Bowl.
Well,
going on Black history.
Well, the thing about it is, I don't like the owner because he didn't want to draft Ernie Davis, and this is what he quoted. I'm not drafting no Negroes. Send that draft pick to the Cleveland Browns because they'll draft him. But you know what's the weird part about it is, even though he sent him to Cleveland, he still drafted a black running back, which is crazy. Now it all turned out for the best because Ernie Davis never got a chance to play because he had leukemia or something of that nature. But Jack King Cook was not. He wasn't the owner that cared too much for blacks. And it's weird because you know what though, history kind of repeats itself because like you said, Doug Williams was the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl game. And you know what's weird about that, Curry, is like I remember when he was he left Tampa, went to USFL. Him and Calvin Bryant went to went to Washington. I said, man, they about to win. They're gonna win this whole thing. I said, them two together with Washington, they're gonna make this thing nice. And that's what they did. They end up winning the Super Bowl. Now, another thing, I don't know if anybody knows this, but Doug Williams never got his face on the Wheatie box. Right? Because back then, if you won a Super Bowl, your picture was on the Wheatie box. I wonder why his picture wasn't on the Wheatie box.
Doug didn't have a great season. He had a great game.
Right. But what they did though is they put the whole team on Wheatie box and not just him. You know, I had a problem. That's why I don't eat Wheaties today because they had a problem with that. But that's why and I was at that time I was growing up, so me changing teams at the time wasn't what happened. I was happy for him. You know what I'm saying? I was sad for the Rams because I think the Rams played them that year and they beat us 35-7. Eric Dickerson had he had a bunch of turnovers. If I'm not mistaken, I might be a couple years off or whatever, but Eric Dickerson had 5 fumbles in that game against Washington, and we lost 35-7. He turned around and won a new contract, so we sent him to Baltimore in 29 in blue and white. That's where he went to. But anyway, the AFC East, man, the Patriots is holding it down. They 10-2. They've won 9 games in a row. Did we see this coming? Did anybody see this coming?
I didn't see that.
Unfortunately,
I didn't see them winning 9 games.
Neither did I. I thought they would be like 9-8 or something like that. But man, they take on they even though Belichick's not there, they're taking on his persona. Every man does his job. Now I'm gonna say this: if you watch the game yesterday against Cincinnati had their opportunities. They had plenty of opportunities to win this game, and they didn't do it. So Joe Burrows will be starting next week. They'll have Jamar Chase. He did publicly come out and apologize for spitting on Jalen Ramsey. I don't know if they're going to have the other wide receiver back because he's on concussion protocol, which kind of messed up my fantasy football league yesterday. It just went bad from there. Buffalo Bills, man, Kerry, I'm gonna start listening to Kerry more often because I think Kerry knows what's going on. Kerry said, if Buffalo don't get to Super Bowl, Mike McDermott might be outside looking in. It looks like they're gonna be fighting to get into that wild card spot. They really do. Because losing yesterday didn't look good. They did not look good at all yesterday. They did not look good at all yesterday.
Well, they're in the 7th spot right now.
Yep.
And Pittsburgh is in the 8th spot. They play each other next week. So if Pittsburgh wins, that'll put Pittsburgh back in the 7th spot, and that'll knock Buffalo out. So one of them is going to be knocked out of the playoff. Going to be in the hunt.
Exactly. So I don't know. I mean, but see, this is what happens when you kind of spend all your money on your quarterback because you can't fulfill the needs for the other positions. And I understand. I mean, I'm not a millionaire. But I'm just trying to figure out how big of a difference is 2 million compared to 3 million. You still got
difference is 1 million.
But you're still a millionaire. You're still a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? And I think
well, the thing is, Josh Allen, as much as I don't like the Bills, I got to give him his credit. He's a good quarterback. He's really a good quarterback. So you have to take care of that guy financially. Otherwise, he's not going to be with you long. He goes somewhere else. So you got to lock him down now, and other than wait till how the price go up 2 or 3 years later. So
right.
So if you look at his salary now, a year from now, you got a bargain.
Right. Now a year from now, I get that. I get what you're saying, but right now, I'm just looking. I'm like he could have took a discount to because you think about it. Look at all the guys they got rid of on defense because of salary. You know what I'm saying? So now that's what killing them. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the points for, the points against, they're plus 59, but the Patriots are plus 92. You know, and so I don't know what's going on with them up in Buffalo, but they need to get it right.
Well, they don't have a number 1 receiver up there, and they really need to see their number 1 receivers are tight ends, Dalton Knox and the other guy. That's their number 1 receivers. They do not have a number 1 wide receiver. And that's not because they didn't have the money to do it.
No, yeah.
That's on Brandon Beane and for not going out and tried to get Jalen Waddle from Miami. In fact, he offered the Dolphins a number one in not this year, next year coming up draft, got the following draft, and a number three in this year's draft. But you're not going to help out your Archie.
Yeah, you're not. You're not the Cleveland Browns. You're not going to send your quarterback to a rival team. You're not going to do that. You're just.
Well, let's be real here. It ain't like they sent Lamar Jackson over there.
I'm just saying. But again, that really says something about their drafting and their free agency, because who would want to play with Josh Allen? You know he's gonna throw you that ball. You know he's gonna throw you the ball. You know what I'm saying? And so you look at the depth chart at wide receiver. You got Khalil Shakir, Joseph Palmer, Gabe Davis, Keon Coleman, Elijah Moore, Melco Harding is in the IR. Then you have Tyrell Chavis, Curtis Samuels is out. They're not household names. And Gabe Davis played with the Browns, and so did Elijah Moore, if I'm not mistaken, was with the Browns for a hot second. So you hit the nail on the head right there when you said they don't have a number one wide receiver. Now, I don't know if now we might bring up that situation. If we get a chance, we can bring up the situation with Brandon Ayuk. His name might become up as a potential landing spot for him in Buffalo, or even Odell Beckham could be a spot for him in Buffalo.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? So they have room to bring in another wide receiver if they want to, and it's not going to cost them that much, because Brandon Ayuk's contract is there. I mean, I think they're voiding out some of his contract, and they may release him. But Odell Beckham, he's spent a six game suspension, so now he's looking to come back into the league. Is he a little bit older? Yeah. Could he be a number one receiver for Buffalo? I think he can, because you have a great quarterback that can get you open. You know, so Buffalo could look that way in the near future, Curry and everybody else. So they could. And you got the Dolphins, who are 4-7. They've won 2 in a row. They're playing for respectability, not to tank.
3 out of the last 4.
Yep. You got the Jets, who's 2-9, lost 2 in a row. And now you got the AFC North, the Baltimore Ravens, who was 1-5, is now 6-5. They won 5 in a row.
And leading the division.
And leading the tide. They tied.
Come on now, really?
They're tied. Oh.
No, they're not tied. They're not tied because Pittsburgh is not in the playoffs. If the playoffs ended today, Pittsburgh would not be in.
What week are we in, Curry?
I'm just saying they're not tied.
So
they are tied.
Pittsburgh is in the 8th spot.
2 weeks.
So, but Pittsburgh
loses to Buffalo, and Baltimore wins.
Well, I've been trying.
Then they're ahead, and then in 2 weeks, Pittsburgh wins against Baltimore. Pittsburgh's in the lead
all year.
Go ahead, Curry. We saying?
I'm trying to get. But hey, before you up that Buffalo though, they'd be foolish to go after Odell Beckham. To me, Odell Beckham and Jadeveon Clowney are the most 2 overrated players that's over the last few years. They both got a bunch of money off one play. If you think about Jadeveon Clowney got that big money off that big hit he had in South Carolina.
Yeah.
And Odell got that money off that one-handed catch. And I mean, he had some good games, but he ain't been setting no records.
You got a good point there. You have a good point. And looking in the American Conference right now, Pittsburgh is sitting at number 8. It says win tie breaks over Houston based on strength of victory. Win tie breaks over Kansas City based on win percentage in conference games. So, but right now, even though they're tied, Baltimore is in first place right now.
That's right.
And that's because I
Why?
think the division, because they're 2-0 in the division, and Pittsburgh is 2-1 in the division.
Pittsburgh's 2-1 in the division, and they haven't played head to head. Same thing I told y'all all season last year. Same thing I told you this season.
But
tiebreakers don't matter to the end of the season.
But they're two. But Baltimore's two. I think the reason why Baltimore is in first place right now.
They're 2-0. Yeah, they've only played Cleveland.
They're 2-0 in the division, but they won 5 in a row. Again, still, guys, looking at Baltimore, there's still something that's not right, because if you look at that game, we watched that game yesterday. Yeah. They didn't look good the first half. Nope. They look like the 1-5.
Lamar Jackson has not thrown or rushed for a touchdown in the last 2 weeks.
Would you say
something is going on with him?
I think his knee still.
Lamar has not rushed or thrown for a touchdown in the last 2 games.
I think it's his knee.
Something is going on with him.
I think it's his knee.
They say it's actually his ankle. That's what it's saying in Baltimore.
But when did he hurt his ankle? Because I thought it was his knee that had him out. Oh, you know what they
got? Hamstring.
They did say something about his ankle. They did say something about ankle. I remember saying something about that.
They said that he wasn't practicing this week because of his ankle.
Yeah, right. And then so you got Pittsburgh, who's 6-5, who lost 1. Went to Chicago. Oof, man, I don't know if Chicago was that good
without Aaron Rodgers,
or Pittsburgh was that bad. I don't know which one.
Chicago played well.
Okay.
We should have won the game, but Chicago played well.
Why do you think you should have won the game?
There were 2 calls in the game. First of all, there was a 4th and 1 when we had the ball and we got over the line, and they said that they blew the whistle before he got over the line, and he was never down.
Are you talking about your guy or their guy?
On a tush push.
Pittsburgh. Oh. Okay.
And in the last drive, there was another questionable call on us as well. It actually set us back. Not the one where it was actually because there was one that was just totally, the guy wasn't on the line. And that's coaching.
Okay.
There was another call on that drive, on the last drive, that made absolutely no sense.
Okay. Cincinnati Bengals got Joe Burrow's coming back.
Why?
They played Baltimore on Thanksgiving Day. Remember we said we wanted to know why this game was on Thanksgiving. I'm still trying to figure this out. 3-8 and 6-5 playing on Thanksgiving Day. I wish that at the end of the season they could let the fans pick 4 teams. Or let me see, how many? It's 3 games. 3 games. Pick 6 teams that play each other in Thanksgiving. I just wish they let the fans do it. I'm tired of seeing Detroit in Dallas. Just think about this. Me and Curry watched Dallas play the Redskins. We seen Detroit play Minnesota every year for football. It never changed. It never ever changed. And then they finally added a 3rd game.
Sorry, man. I gotta stop you.
I'm listening.
Dallas versus Kansas City might be the most watched game ever. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying this one is good, but at the beginning of the season, we didn't think this was gonna be a good game.
Ever.
I don't think
most
about
watched game ever.
I don't know about ever. But it's gonna be a good game. But at the beginning,
they are gonna grab a huge.
But at the beginning,
amount of people gonna watch that.
At the beginning of the season, did we think this was gonna be a good game?
No.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. So then you got Cincinnati Bengals, who lost 4 in a row. Right, Joe Burrow's coming back. You got Cleveland Browns, who's going to start Shedeur Sanders next week again. I'm glad he got the win, but we played the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? Now we play the 49ers at home. We play the 49ers at home. We know the defense is going to show up, But what's the offense going to do? Now, they got
Well, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Do you think Shedeur Sanders would have been a lot better if he had with the number team, OTs, breaking down? Do you think he'd have been a lot further ahead?
Yes. And I think that, but now, so what Stefanski said though was they were doing extra who's that? They said they were doing extra practices with him when he became the backup quarterback. So again, I think what you're saying is, would he be a lot further forward than what he would be if he had got some more reps the first team? Absolutely. That just baffled my mind when they said he never got any reps with the first team. That really baffled my mind. That's a coaching thing right there, and that goes to show you that Stefanski might not be the coach for this team because he didn't draft him. The GM drafted him, and the GM's like, "Yo, this is the guy. I want him on the team. So get it together. So let's get it together."
And the owner said, "I didn't sign off on that."
Yeah, he ain't signed off on that one either. But again, we're gonna see what he's made of when he plays San Francisco, who has a lot better defense than the Raiders. That's what Shedeur probably needed, was to have a game like that. Now, was it a good game? Not really. I mean, he was proficient in a lot of places. Some places he wasn't. The only thing I wish that with Shedeur was he had quicker feet. I wish that was the case. He's not a quarterback that's going to run the football unless he has to. But I think that we'll see where this goes from here because again, they got 2 draft picks. They got 2 high draft picks coming up, and they're saying that they definitely want to get the quarterback from Indiana. They want to get this quarterback from Indiana. They want to draft him too. So we'll see where this goes with that situation. If Shedeur says he's that guy for them going forward, we'll see how well he does it. Like I said, we know the defense is going to show up. We ain't worried about the defense at all. So that'll be good. AFC South. The Colts had this game locked. If Colts wins this game, we're not even talking about this game on Thanksgiving with Kansas City and Dallas. We're not even thinking about the game because it ain't gonna really matter for Kansas City because they probably would be out of it at this point in time. They just couldn't get in the red. They got in the red zone and they stalled in the red zone. If you guys watch the game, I don't understand why they didn't use Daniel Jones' legs in that situation because he can run the football. Kansas City gave them all opportunities to blow that game out, and they didn't take advantage of it. So now they're 8-3. They're 6-0 at home. Jacksonville Jaguars are 7-4. Won 2 in a row. Houston Texans 6-5. Won 3 in a row. Tennessee Titans is 1-10. They lost 6 in a row. But I'm gonna say this about Tennessee real quick. Tennessee is entertaining to watch, and I'm gonna tell you why. If you watch Ward play, he makes the game look like fun. And if you watch the game they played yesterday, you didn't know they was getting blown out. If you never looked at the score, you would have thought the score was close because they were always trying to score and score and score. And when you get a guy like that to play football for you and not giving up at 1-10, what can you say? What can you say? That means that guy loves that football. He loves football. You guys got anything about the AFC South y'all want to mention at all? Anybody? Okay. Let's move on. AFC West, Denver Broncos 9-2. Chargers.
I do.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Team that is not in the hunt right now is a team that's the most dangerous.
Who's that? The Texans?
The Texans. Oh yeah.
They're playing good football.
CJ Stroud has not been playing. If he comes back and plays like he did his rookie year, they're gonna be a nasty team.
So
I don't think anybody's gonna want to see them in the playoffs.
So do you want to change what's working right now? Because my man Mills is the backup quarterback, right? He's playing really good football. So,
no, he's not.
So if you he beat the
he's missing a lot of open wide receivers. He made the throws he needed to make to win the game.
Okay.
He's not an elite quarterback. They had an elite quarterback in CJ Stroud. You bring an elite quarterback back, that defense gets the rest. That team is going to be nasty.
So let me look at something here. Mills.
Look at the defense. Number 1 defense in the league.
Mills was 16 for 30 for 2 touchdowns, 153 yards.
16 for 30.
Marks had 74 yards rushing. Collins had 55 yards catching. They had 2.5 sacks, 12 tackles. Defensively, what they do here? Let me see if I can find something. Full box score. So defensively, it don't show here. So let me see here. Team stats it don't show. I don't know. I don't know, Mo. I don't know if I'm bringing Stroud back just yet, because they doing something right.
Yeah.
Because they've won 3 in a row. They won 3 in a row. They beat Jacksonville with 36 points. They beat the Titans 16-13, and I think that was when Mills came into the game and when Stout got hurt. But that game against Buffalo, did anybody feel like Buffalo had an opportunity to win the game at all? I never felt that.
No.
I never felt that.
Of course, they had an opportunity because the Texans couldn't do anything on offense, and the Bills' defense is terrible.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. So I think we all agree with you on the Titans being one of the scariest teams coming in right now. And let's just look at the schedule right now. So,
hopefully you meant the Texans, not the Titans.
The Texans. I'm saying Texas. So they go on the road. Oof. They go to Indiana. Then they go to Kansas City. Cardinals should be a win. The Raiders should be a win. At the Chargers. Ooh. And at the Colts. Ooh. So, ooh, man. I don't know. I don't know if they can. They could 1, 2, 3, 4. Excuse me. 1, 2, 7 and 5. They might not end up with a winning record with this schedule coming up. Going to the Colts, at the Chiefs too, and that's going to be that's a must win for both teams if you really think about it. They should be able to beat the Cardinals, but the Cardinals are playing good football too. They're playing entertaining football. They're not winning, but they're playing entertaining football, which means everybody's not shutting down. Ain't nobody packed their bags to go to Honolulu for a winter break yet. They have the Raiders at the Chargers. That's what should be a good game, and they end the season with the Colts. So that's going to be tough for them to come out of there. They had some losses early in the season that probably hurt them going forward. AFC West, Denver Broncos 9-2 hold their own destiny. They've won 8 in a row. I remember saying that Bo Nix he's going to be the best sophomore quarterback playing right now. Until yesterday, it was the boy in New England, May. But he looked really uncomfortable playing against Cincinnati. Cincinnati was doing something to him that didn't sit well with them. So my thing is, if I'm a team, I'm gonna look at what Cincinnati did, because he struggled.
He did what Pittsburgh did.
He struggled against Pittsburgh. I mean, he struggled against Cincinnati. He really did. But
he struggled against Pittsburgh first.
But Bo Nix, he got this thing. He got this thing rolling. They beat Kansas City. They beat the Chiefs. Now they got Washington. At the Raiders, 2 winnable games. The Packers gonna be a good game. Jacksonville go good. So their last let me see what they're 9-2. 9-2. 10-2, 11-2, 11-2 going into week. What week we in? This week 11, 12, 13. 11-2 going to week 13. You had the Packers, Jaguars, the Chiefs, and the Chargers, and everybody needs to win out. So that those games gonna mean something. Now, the only game they got on the road is at Kansas City. The other ones in Denver, Packers, Jaguars is in Denver, and the Chargers are in Denver. That Charger game is that's gonna make a break. I think the Chargers in Kansas City, those two right there fighting for a wild card position for real, for real. And you just think about it. I mean, look at the gap: 9-2, 9-2, 7-4, 6-5, 2-9. The gap. So Denver is looking really good. Drake May, like I said, was my dude. He was the dude that has been playing the best quarterback up until last week, up until this weekend. I think Bo Nix has probably overtaken him as a sophomore quarterback. NFC East. How are you up 21-0? Stop running the football. Lose to the Dallas Cowboys 24-21. Can anybody explain that to me? What that doesn't make sense to me. I'm confused. Anybody want to help me out with this one?
The Eagles didn't score a lot of points.
Hey, Mo. Mo.
Yep.
Hey, we got Devin on the air with us today. He came with his presence today, so you can say hello to Devin.
Hello, Devin.
Hello.
Cowboys are 8-3. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles are 8-3. Cowboys 5-1. Washington 3-8. They're pretty much done. The New York Giants have been eliminated from the playoffs. Yo, how do you give up? You have 6 games. You give up double-digit points, right? You fire the head coach. Yeah. You fire the head coach, right? Who is an offensive coordinator, but you keep the defensive coordinator. Now you fire the defensive coordinator because you had Jameson Winston in there as quarterback who throws interceptions at the wrong time. I am totally confused on that one. I'm totally confused.
Well, if you watched that game yesterday, New York had a chance to go up by 6.
Yes.
So they had 4th and goal.
Why
they decided not to kick the field goal. If they go up by 6, that forced Detroit to have to get a touchdown.
Exactly.
Well, they came up short. So all Detroit had to do was kick a field goal to tie it up.
Exactly.
And the rest is history. So they should fire the interim coach too.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
The
interim coach is trying to lose games.
Why?
Because they want a better draft pick.
They're what?
That's why they go.
You think they lost it on purpose?
They didn't lose that. No.
You either go for the win or you hope you lose.
Yeah, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard for me to argue with it, but I still don't want to believe it.
Yeah, Mo has a point there.
Think about what happened with Jacksonville.
Mo has a point. You have a point there. I'm gonna say you have a point.
Because remember when the coach said he was told to lose. Even Brian Flores said he was told to lose in Miami. They already have enough injuries.
But
they don't want anybody else to get injured, so they wanted the game to be over.
But
they didn't want to go to overtime.
But as a competitor, man, you just don't. That's a hard pill to swallow.
They went for the win. That's the way you sell it. They went for the win. They weren't trying to play for the. They were trying to play. Well, 6 points wouldn't have tied anything either. But at the same time, they're trying to go up 10.
But the thing about it is, if they kick the field goal, they're up by 6. Detroit still got to play. Detroit's playing for a touchdown now. That means they don't have that. That means they got to score a touchdown, not a field goal, which put them in a position to tie the game up and win the game.
If you get it, you go up by 10.
Yeah, I'm kicking a field goal. I'm kicking a field goal. Cowboys have gotten life now. They're 5-1. They're playing really good football right now. Down 21 points, come back and win 24-21. Eagles, AJ Brown basically said, he said, yo, our offense is too vanilla. We need to change things up. Why can we change things up? We need to change things up. This ain't working. Now do they have some people on the offensive line that's injured? Did they lose? Did their center retired after last year, right? It was the year before last. I think it was this year, right? The center retired.
Yeah, Kelsey retired this whole season.
Okay, so that makes a big difference up there. You know what I'm saying? But again, you plug and play. They say that the GM is one of the greatest they got. So he got to make this thing happen. Philadelphia right now is not in jeopardy of not losing the division, but they're in jeopardy of going on the road, and they don't want to come. They don't want to go on the road to Chicago. They don't want to go on the road to Tampa, and they definitely don't want to go on the road to the Rams because the Rams owe them something. You know what I'm saying? So
Tampa's done, man. Victor Phillips is probably out for a couple of weeks.
Who's done?
Baker.
Oh yeah,
he's probably out for a couple of weeks.
Right. I forgot. I didn't get to them yet. Chicago Bears, NFC North. Did we think that Chicago would be 8-3 after week 11 in the NFL?
Not at all.
Nobody thought that. We thought that we thought this division was supposed to be won by Minnesota or the Packers. That's what we were thinking. When Micah went to
we thought the Packers or the Lions.
When Micah went to the Packers, we thought it was a done deal for them to win the division. I tell you, I didn't think Detroit was going to be. I didn't think Detroit would win the division. I think Detroit would have been better because of the injuries they would not have accumulated this year compared to last year. But I thought, my personal opinion, when they got Micah, I was like, okay, they should be able to do this thing in. But Chicago, Ben Johnson, the quarterback whisperer, he is shaking things up in Chicago. He got Williams looking like an MVP. He could be, but this is his second year, right? He could be that sophomore quarterback that nobody saw coming. He made some throws against Pittsburgh yesterday. I was really impressed with the way he played, man. It showed the growth of attention to detail when you have. So let me ask you guys a question. When you have a quarterback like his, is it better to get an offensive coordinator as a head coach, or is it better to get a defensive coordinator as a head coach and you get an offensive coordinator? Would anybody want to speak on that for me?
Well, we've seen it work both ways, so
yeah.
So go into detail how you see it go both ways, Curry.
Well, Bill Belichick was a defensive guru, and he just hired offensive minds around him to run the offense for him. And then you look at who I put the thing about Shanahan out there in San Francisco. He offensive guy, and he brought in good defensive coordinators.
Okay.
So I mean,
Shanahan hasn't won anything.
No, no, you're right. He hasn't won anything, but there's a lot of teams who would like to say they went to the Super Bowl the last few years that haven't. So.
Okay.
It's better to have an offensive coach with a young quarterback and a seasoned defensive coordinator. All you got to do is look at Kansas City.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know about that because the year that, what year was it that they played Tampa and they just ate them alive? They're off.
Let's just ask this. I'm gonna ask you one question, Kev.
Yes.
Who's represented the AFC in the last 6 AFC championship games?
Kansas City Chiefs have. But let me ask you.
So that's not a data.
But let me ask you a question though. If you take that division hasn't been strong.
5 out of 6 in the Super Bowl.
That division hasn't been strong because if you think about it, Last year they went on the road and got to Super Bowl. I don't think they can do it this year.
What does it matter about the division?
Because
they were 15-2 last year.
Right, but the thing of 15-2,
they beat Baltimore. They beat Buffalo every year.
But
who have young quarterbacks?
But what I'm saying to you,
defensive coaches.
What I'm saying to you is this right here.
How's that working out for him?
What I'm saying to you.
Just listen to what I just said.
I'm listening to what you're saying.
Quarterback.
Well, he's
defensive coaches. How's that working out for them?
It's not working out well, right? But
exactly, because that's why you would want an offensive coach with a young quarterback and a seasoned defensive coordinator.
So I get what you're saying, and my question was who makes a better head coach, offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator when you have a young quarterback? And I agree with you on. I think the head coach should be the offensive coordinator when you have a young quarterback like that, and it's showing in Chicago with Ben Johnson being there with him. That he definitely is not a scrub. He's playing good football. But getting back to your point about Kansas City, when has this division been this tough before? You got 5 teams that got winning records. Last year, Denver Broncos got in the playoffs, right? The year before that, the Chargers got in the playoffs, and Chargers lost to Jacksonville or somebody like that with 3 didn't score no points in the second half. But when you go 15-2, and you know in your division you're gonna pretty much beat everybody, that makes it a lot easier for you because it does. That means you have home field advantage. I mean, the thing about it is in Kansas City, it's cold. It's cold for everybody. It's not just cold for them. For the team, it's cold for them.
Yeah.
But I think now at 6-5. Right, and I think
colder than New England.
I think that Kansas City's defense is just getting old. I think Kansas City's defense is getting old. I think Baltimore's defense is getting old, and they need to revamp it sometime in the near future, or we're gonna see both these teams not be really competitive defensively anymore.
Baltimore's defense is not getting old. They lost their best defensive player, Madubuike, in the middle.
Right, but I'm just. But
so now they can't stop the run.
But the thing about it
is
they
gotta devote more people to stopping the run. That opens them up for the pass.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you, Baltimore is they're like the 5th oldest team in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. That's what I mean by getting old, right? NFC South. Carolina plays. Carolina. Who do Carolina play next? They play 49ers tonight. That's right.
49ers tonight.
So if Carolina wins this game, they in first place. Did we see this coming with that quarterback there?
No.
Nobody saw this coming. So let me.
I told you guys last year. At the end of the year, Carolina was good.
So let me.
Do you believe that? Rico Dowdle has changed that team though.
Yeah, but he wasn't there last year. He was a free agent this year. He came to them as a free agent.
Yes. What I'm saying is he changed their outlook this year. By changing him playing and Chuba getting hurt and him playing shows a totally different offense.
Right. But the thing about it, they're 6-5. They win tonight. They're 7-5. They're leading the division. That's crazy. We never thought that. Nobody thought that. We thought that was Tampa Bay's.
I never knew who Rico Dowdle was until they played the Dolphins.
Oh man! So we thought Tampa Bay was gonna run away with this division.
He rushed for 1,000 yards for the Cowboys last year.
Now it's gonna be a problem without Baker Mayfield being the quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater is not that. He's not that dude that they can bring in to save this team. It's gonna be a hard hill to climb for them. Coming up, Carolina, this game gonna be good tonight. I'm telling you right now. I think it's gonna be a really good game. Carolina got a point to prove. They're gonna show the whole world that they belong where they belong at 6-5 or 7-5 or 6-6 or wherever they end up being. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. if it's a blowout, I'll be really shocked because Carolina got a pretty decent defense as well.
Well, they're missing some features though.
Who Carolina is?
Yeah, they got a couple guys hurt out.
Okay.
I don't. But Carolina's got their work cut out. So they got the 49ers tonight, which is going to be tough. Then they got 2 games with Tampa. They got a game with Seahawks and the Rams. So we'll find out what they're made of over the next few weeks.
Yeah, I looked at that game for the Rams 11. I was like, man, maybe I should ride down to Carolina and go to that game. I was thinking about that. That might be.
Well, come on, we'll go together.
I'll let you know later on if I can make that happen. If I can make it happen, I will definitely come down. Atlanta Falcons. I don't want to see that. I don't want to say. I don't think the coach should be on the hot seat at all. They just having some bad breaks on guys getting hurt. New Orleans Saints, they're 2-9. They just don't have enough weapons to do anything with. The NFC West, the Rams are 9-2. Seahawks is 8-3. 49ers are 7-4. I think all 3 of those teams. Remember we talked about this earlier. I think all 3 of those teams could probably make the playoffs, and that means that no wild card. There's only going to be one wild card team from the other divisions. And if you look at it, like San Francisco's schedule, just look at San Francisco's schedule real quick. They got the Panthers, they're at the Browns in cold weather. They should win that game. They got the Titans at the Colts, the Bears in Seattle. They play the Bears at home, so that should be a good game at home. He's coming back to California, so that should be a good game. So they have some winnable games. San Francisco has some winnable games. Like if they could win 3 in a row, they'd be good. If they could beat the Panthers, the Browns, and the Titans, they're sitting real pretty right there. That Colts loss won't be affected. The Bears won't be affected because that gives them 6 losses. So that's 11 and 6. The Seattle game is gonna probably matter. That could matter if one of them gets in or get out. That could be something right there. The NFL did some things this year that makes it look real comfortable. Make the NFL look really, really good this year. Looking at the Rams schedule, and by the way, Matthew Stafford his name should be in that MVP race with only 2 interceptions all year long. We go to Carolina, we got Arizona, we got the Lions at Seattle. Then we go to Falcons, that should be a win, and the Cardinals should be a win. So let's say they're 9-2 right now. Let's say they lose. I think I think the Seattle game. I think they might lose the Seattle game because Seattle played them really tough. I think they beat the Lions. That might be the only loss. That makes them 13. 3 losses makes them 14-3 with a home field advantage. That's crazy right there. I picked them to go 11-7. I ain't think they're gonna be this good. But the way they're playing football right now, and watching the game yesterday, and I'm gonna say this, I got so mad at YouTube because my TV kept start acting up, and I couldn't get the game on. I'm watching on my phone, watching on my TV, watching on my phone. It was just so frustrating last night. I really and I gotta give myself credit because I had enough patience to get it fixed where I got a chance to watch the game on TV. But the offense they're running with these 4 tight ends and 1 wide receiver and no running back and 6 tight ends. I'm like, what is going on here? But if you go out and read, there was an article out there that says teams that run offenses with 3 or more tight ends are the ones that get to the Super Bowl more often than not. I don't know, and maybe because you got tight ends that linebackers can't watch, or you got tight ends that corners can't watch. I don't know what the rhyme or reason for this is, but it's just one of those things.
I can tell you.
We listening.
Pittsburgh runs 3 tight ends. The reason you run 3 tight ends is because you actually have blockers who can block in the run game. and guys who can catch the ball down the field. Our tight ends are the reason that we're 6-5. Our wide receivers have not really done much.
Okay, and I can understand that because I'm like, if you look at like Kansas City might be the odd man out when you talk about
they run it the most.
But you look at who was it? They man.
Remember, Kelsey is not the blocking tight end. They usually run 12.
They probably go with 2
personnel.
They
tight ends all the time.
They go with 2 tight ends. They was talking about the Patriots when the Patriots was doing their thing. A lot of times they would run with 3 tight ends. You know, so that gives you extra blockers too. So you know, if you got a little thin tight end like somebody like Likely that plays for Baltimore who look like he could be a wide receiver but he's tight end, you get the ball in space, that guy's gonna make some guys miss him.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
Dude, Likely is not small.
No,
Likely is like 6'6", like 250.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, if you look at his body, the way his body's built, he's not built like a tight end. You know, he looks more like a wide receiver.
Nah, he's built like a tight end. You need to look at him again.
Thank you, recording.
Okay. I might have to do that. We're at 7:31 of the hour. We got about 30 minutes left. And let's see here. Anybody got anything else for the NFL before we move on? Anything else? Before we go on, real quick. I was
gonna say Minnesota kept the wrong quarterback.
Yeah, I believe so too. What is the must-see game coming up on week 13?
Dallas, Kansas City.
Dallas and Kansas City. Green Bay at Detroit. Chicago at Philly. They got a lot of good games going on.
Then there's Buffalo at Pittsburgh.
Houston at Indiana. Buffalo at Pittsburgh. That's another one.
Pittsburgh. If Pittsburgh wins that game, Buffalo might not make the playoffs.
Yeah. We were just talking. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah. No, Pittsburgh can still win the. Pittsburgh is only going to get in by winning the division.
Yeah, but y'all not.
It's not going to be a wild card.
I don't think. Let me see here. Let's go back and look at this. Let's go back and look at this thing real quick. Because
Pittsburgh plays Buffalo, Baltimore, and Detroit back to back.
So you got Buffalo.
We got to beat Baltimore. They lose the other 2 games, they're okay.
You got Buffalo, the Ravens, the Dolphins, at the Lions, at the Browns, and then you got the Ravens. That schedule ain't easy.
Look at the Ravens' last 4 games. Ravens might not win a game in the last
3. Are you wishful? Is you wishfully thinking that, or you just saying that? You saying that?
Look it up. Look it up.
They got the Bengals, Steelers, the Bengals. Ooh, the Patriots at Green Bay, at Pittsburgh. Whoa.
You understand what I mean now?
Yeah.
They're going to have a 2-game lead going into those last 3 games.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So nobody else has anything else about so I
think Cincinnati gets 1 from them this year.
From Baltimore?
Yes.
I don't know.
Joe Burrow's going to be back.
I don't know, man. I don't think so.
Joe Burrow kills the defense.
I don't think so. I don't think they. If I'm Cincinnati, I'm not even.
How they beat them both times last year. 1 score, 30-point game.
I'm not bringing him back.
Baltimore can't put up that many points right now.
I'm not bringing him back.
Cincinnati's defense has improved against the Patriots.
I'm not bringing him back. All right, guys. College football. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. real quick before we move on. 49ers, Brandon Ayuk, $25 million guaranteed contract. They trying to get rid of his contract. Somebody listen to the show and got on. Don't have it on mute. I'm getting a lot of feedback. It basically saying wide receiver Brandon Ayuk, the San Francisco 49ers appears to finish with each other with a relationship deteriorating to the point that 49ers have avoided Ayuk's guaranteed salary. Ayuk has failed to attend meetings and refused to participate in team events in the recent months. According to Mike Silver of The Athletic, the 49ers, frustrated by the lack of communication, responded by avoiding the guaranteed contract, Ayuk contract, for 2026 to totals of over $25 million. Ayuk choose not to file a grievance against the 49ers as not doing so will allow the team to release him this offseason. The standout receiver is thought to have no interest in playing for the franchise again. The wide receiver had yet to play in 2025 as he recovers from the ACL, MCL, meniscus that he suffered last season. As of September, he was nowhere near being ready to play, and it's unclear if the 49ers will bring him back this season. The likely split comes a little over a year after the 49ers handed Ayuk a 4-year, $120 million contract after a month of contagious negotiations. Hard feelings seem to linger despite the deal, as there were reports that the 49ers regretted the contract during the most recent offseason. Ayuk is still 27, but there will be some concerns about his future after suffering such a devastating knee injury. His best season came in 2023 when he caught 75 passes for 1,342 yards and 7 touchdowns. Let me ask you guys a question. Why is it when the player gets upset with the team, they come back and say, well, we don't know if he's going to be the same player if he goes to somebody else because of his injury? Why do they do that? Why do they do that? You know, there's a lot of places IU could play. Something going on in San Francisco that guy didn't want to be there. They franchised him. And I think when you get to the point where you franchise a guy and he really doesn't want to be here, let him go. You're going to get a draft pick. You're going to get a draft pick for him. You're going to get a #1 draft pick for him. If you franchise him, let him go. Just let him go. Why you want a guy? Why?
You know where he wanted to go.
Yeah, he wanted to go to Pittsburgh. He wanted to go to Pittsburgh. Just let the guy go. Just let him go. You know what I'm saying? So that's probably going to end. That's going to end badly in San Francisco. Getting to basketball. How can John Morant come out his mouth and call Klay Thompson a bum? You're in street clothes. You're sitting on the sideline. How can you call him a bum? I'm just trying to figure this one out. John Morant is
he playing like a bum right now.
He's annihilating himself in the NBA. I'm telling you, he's gonna make it so he's gonna end up blackballing himself out of the NBA if he doesn't be quiet. If he doesn't want to be quiet. Klay Thompson doesn't bother nobody. He goes about his business. He plays basketball at a high level. You know what I'm saying? He's on the team right now struggling, but you don't have your point guard, you don't have your center, or you don't have your 4 with you, and you're struggling. You get rid of the GM, and you get rid of the GM, and the owner agreed to getting rid of Luka for Anthony Davis, which was a fly-by your pants seat move, which didn't work out for Dallas, because there's no way I'm trading for Anthony Davis, who stays in street clothes more than he plays, right? That doesn't make any sense to me. You bring Klay Thompson in as your shooter. You got Kyrie Irving on your team, so you got the nucleus of a good team. You bring it. You draft Cooper Flagg, right? Then you got bigs that can play basketball. I think the problem with it is that Dallas plays too slow, and they have this up tempo their game. Kyrie might come back this year, might not come back this year. Anthony Davis, they're talking about him getting traded, right? But my thing is John Morant. You have no hardware, none, absolutely no hardware. And you know what? He was one of my favorite players coming to college. I love his game. But right now, when you talk about a guy that plays the same game you played, that's put in the time, that got titles, he's a Hall of Famer already right now, and you make that public, that's blasphemy, man. You don't do that to players you play with. You may not respect them. I mean, you may not like them, but you have to respect them. Klay Thompson put in the work. The guy came out there and made 2 free throws with a bum knee in a game. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to do that. He's like, yo, I can't go out there. They pull somebody off the seat, off the bench, and they go shoot free throws for him. But he went and did it. You know what I'm saying? Then he tore his Achilles or whatever it up. I mean, he had back-to-back injuries. But he's coming back playing basketball. You know, and I don't understand John Morant. And to me, he's alienating himself from the NBA. He could probably be blackballed if he doesn't keep his mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? And just don't do it. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. This guy grew up in a household with a mom and dad, a grandmom who was religious, was overly religious. She went to everything. If church was open on a Monday morning, she went there and prayed. She went to Bible study. She went to Sunday school. She was probably in the choir. She probably even sang on the choir. She probably played the piano. She might even try to preach every now and then. This is the woman that helped grow. This is a woman that helped raise you. You had a mom and a dad. You go to a prep school and you want to become a gangster now. Stop with the fake stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Just stop. And his mom is no better in the situation that he's in. And this is why I was saying before that John Morant can't go to Miami. You know what I'm saying? He can't go to no major city because he's not mature enough to be responsible to do the things he need to. He goes to Miami, he's going to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Curry, who was the or Mo, you might remember, who was the player? I don't know if it was an NBA or NFL that had bodyguards to make sure that he didn't get himself in trouble. It was somebody that the team hired. Was it it was Gordon that played with the Browns, the wide receiver. He had bodyguards. Josh Gordon. They had bodyguards.
Nah, they weren't bodyguards.
Who were they? They was bodyguards.
They were weed rollers.
Stop, man. He had bodyguards that watch him not do. You can't do that. Stop. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Team hired people to watch him.
Stop. Don't do it.
Kevin's right. The team did hire.
They's like, yo,
they hired handlers.
They's like, yo,
handlers.
Yeah. They's like, yo, you can't do this if you want to remain in the league, right? That's what John Morant. That's what they have to do about John Morant. This is what they're gonna have to do with him. But this is why he can't go to the Clippers. They're in LA. He can't go down. He can go to Orlando because they're in Orlando. That's Disney World. There's some devilish going on down there.
No problem.
But if he goes to South Beach, he definitely gonna get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? He can't go to New York. He go to New York, he's gonna get in trouble.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They could
go to Boston.
They could send him to Minnesota, but it's too much to give up for him because ain't nothing in Minnesota. Send him to Denver. He could go to Denver. What's in Denver? Nothing. Nothing's in Denver. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I think in Colorado you can smoke. I think in Colorado you can smoke weed, right? You can smoke weed in Colorado. So he can't go there.
They always high. They mile high.
But my thing is though, respect the game of basketball. You know what I'm saying? Because the way the NBA is going right now, it's going to ruin itself. You got all these players that have these soft tissue injuries, right? And I'm trying to think of they have it right here. They says right now NBA season hamstring and calf injuries are up. They're up from right now at 2020 at the end of 2024-25 was 23. Right now, the season they haven't even played 20 games yet, is at 22. Calf injuries are already up at 14 in 2025-26. Why can't these guys come into camp in shape? They got you don't have to play. You don't play a lot of back-to-backs anymore. You get a week off vacation for All-Star break, right? You get your own personal chef, your own trainer that go wherever you go. You live in the best luxury hotels. You fly the best planes. You know what I'm saying? You get the best of the world. The owners give you what you need to keep your mind focused on basketball. But why are we having so many injuries? Because everybody's coming in the NBA out of shape. Now, they went from playing 10 games in preseason to playing 4 games in preseason. They want you to get in shape during the season. That doesn't make sense. You should be in shape before the season starts. As a team, you should be getting in shape. As a team playing together, you should know what you're looking like around 20 games. You know if you're going to be good or bad around 20 games. But I'm just trying to understand the situation with the NBA. It doesn't make any sense to me. It really doesn't. And this is what's going on. It says, why injuries are surging across the NBA, full breakdown. 2025-26 NBA regular season is starting to label as injury-prone season. Nobody really knows why. Some of the league's biggest stars currently sidelined with lower leg injuries, including Victor Wembanyama, Jalen Brunson, and Joel Embiid. Unfortunately, the names listed aren't even half of the growing list. And this is what it says: why are soft tissue injuries in the rise? Steve Kerr is crying about this situation, right? For what reason? I have no. When everybody was when their team was running down the court fast, hurry, shooting threes from the half court line, it was okay with that. Now that everybody got hooked up to it, now he has a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Recently spoke to the NBA. He said about the schedule. Stating 82 games over the course of 7 months isn't the right equation to insert into players into. I've been said cut the season down by 10 games. You can even do 60. You can even do 63 games, because the 63 games is going to matter more than 82 games, because you're going to get your players that got to play, because it's all about seeding. He goes on and talks about all his malarkey. I'm not even gonna read about him, but then they go and hear about load management conversations. The one biggest phrase used recently year NBA starts with a categorize of players for not suiting up, particularly nights. Essentially, a team chooses to rest players whether they feel 1% or 99.99%, 99% to preserve their health moving forward. Now I'm gonna say this: Boston played Orlando last night. That was a back-to-back. Two of the starters didn't play in the game. Because why? I'm trying to figure this one out. Somebody need to help me. Somebody need to help me out. I'm looking for. I got an SOS signal. I need an SOS signal. Because of Spurs, and Pac came up with this load management bull. You know what I'm saying? And I get it because you had a team that was older team. You had Duncan, and you had Ginobili, and you had Parker that was up in age. So I can understand those guys doing load management. But what I didn't like was, if I'm a Spurs, like my friend Kenny Robbs, he's a San Antonio Spurs fan. He got tickets to go see the Spurs play the Sixers. Guess who didn't play? Duncan, Ginobili, and Parker. Matter of fact, they didn't even come to the game. They didn't even go to the game. He told them to stay home. So even if Kenny wanted to get an autograph, they weren't even there to get an autograph or take a picture. To me, that's killing the fan base, and the fans are probably getting tired of this because of the load management. These guys are getting paid too much money to sit on the bench and complain about stuff that needs to be taken care of. If you have a hamstring issue, that's because you're not training correctly. That means you're not working. Mo, why is my man in New Orleans on a weight restriction, deals with his contract, and he's in street clothes, and the season just started. He played in 3 games? Come on, man. That's not cool.
Hey, man, he lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
He did?
He did.
How much weight did he lose?
Like 30 pounds.
Why is he not playing?
Dude was skinny. I didn't even recognize him. Because he's injury prone.
He is injury prone.
Right, but the thing about it is, though, the reason why he's not playing is because you're right, he's injury prone. But at the same token, though,
but
but
I bet you he wouldn't be injury prone in Boston.
And see, that's the thing, that he wouldn't be injury prone in a couple teams. He would be out there sacrificing to play. Now, right now, they're saying he's not. He's scheduled to play, right? Only people who's out is Jordan Poole, Herbert's out, Hawkins is out, Dejounte Murray's out. So this is my thing. Like Dejounte Murray, Achilles could return.
6 pounds.
He could return after New Year's, according to the Pelicans. All right. Calf injury, knee injury, calf injury, quad injury. These are all injuries that could be that could be taken care of if you're training the correct way, if you're working out the right way, if you're eating the right foods. Take the blue, like everybody in NBA that's a starter is making millions of dollars. Can they take $1 million and put it into a nutrition program like LeBron did? LeBron he just had a sciatic nerve situation and he was out this year. The first time ever, right? He invested money into working out, staying healthy, eating the right things, because he knew this was his bread. This was the basketball buttered his bread. Why don't everybody else take the same blueprint? I'm not saying you can't be LeBron, but why can't you take the same blueprint to the health part of it, and make yourself worthy of playing in the NBA? It doesn't make any sense to me. How many pounds do you say he lost, Mo?
66.
Now that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. To lose 66 pounds and you're in the NBA. How long you been in the NBA? What, 8 years, going on 6 years?
I think 8.
Zion.
I'll look it up.
Right now they got him listed at, listen to this. Right now they got him listed at 6'6", 284 pounds. 6'6", 284 pounds. You know.
You're right, 6 years. This is 6 years.
You know. 284 pounds. 284 pounds. 284 pounds.
Right. I said he dropped down to 264.
264. That's still too much for him at 6'6". That's a lot of weight to carry on a basketball court. A lot of weight. A lot of weight. A lot of weight. And again, Joel Embiid is 7 feet tall. He weighs 280 pounds. Was basketball not meant for big guys to play? Because everybody you're talking about are kind of big guys. They're, you look at the guys. Look at Porzingis. Look at Embiid. Look at Wemby. You look at Ben Simmons. All them guys were like almost 7 feet tall, but they always had problems with their knees or their feet. And I'm trying to figure out what is the cause of this. I'm surprised that Wemby's having such a difficult time staying healthy in San Antonio, because you got Pac down there that was the main lead. He's a ringleader for load management. But again, the league is so close and so tight right now. They can't afford for guys to sit out no more games. They just can't. But you have them sitting out, and it just irks me, man. I'm going to a Celtics game in February. I think it's February the 1st. It's Founders Day or something like that, and they're going to honor Chuck Cooper on that day. That's the only reason I'm going, right? I would love to go see Boston play in Philly, but man, the product right now is not that good. I mean, I watched him the other night shooting threes and threes and threes and threes. Nobody want to go to the paint. Nobody wants to go to the paint. Everybody wants to shoot threes. And you want to know why you don't get to free throw line. It's just beyond me.
Yeah.
The the Pelicans are 2-15. I want to cuss so bad right now. I really do.
Yeah, can I say something? I just gotta say something.
Go.
Jamar Chase apologized to the Bengals, to the Steelers, to the NFL, and then he comes down to the end of it saying, and most importantly, I want to apologize to everyone, to my fans. Finally, I want to apologize to my fans. He don't apologize to Jalen Ramsey at all.
No, he didn't. No, that lets you know that lets you know it's deep. That lets you know.
Patty.
But that lets you know that
he did not approve his lawyers to approve that.
But you know that it runs deep, man. That runs deep. That runs deeper than deep.
Remember the double barrel to Minka.
So real quick, guys, before we get out, we got 2 more. We got like 2 more minutes left. So I came up with the worst number 1 picks in the NBA draft history ranking. All right. Anthony Bennett, 2013. Why the Cavs drafted him? I think that was just an undercover of the low up to the high up, the okie doke to the okie doke smoke, because he averaged 4 points a game. He almost averaged more rebounds than he averaged points. Right? They missed out on Giannis. Number 2 was Kwame Brown. I think Kwame would have been a better player for one for Jordan. They missed out on Paul Gasol and Tony Parker. Michael Olakande, Clippers. They missed out on Victor Carter and Dirk Nowitzki and Paul Pierce. Greg Oden, Trailblazers. They missed out on Kevin Durant, Al Horford, Mike Conley, Marc Gasol, and Joakim Noah. Number 5, Nervous Purvis, Sacramento Kings. Missed out on Tim Hardaway, Sean Kemp, Valley Divac. Number 6, Markelle Fultz, Philadelphia 76ers. Missed out on Jason Tatum, DeAndre Fox, Luke Marketing, Donovan Mitchell, Bam Adebayo. I know they could slap this up right now, but I get why I understand why they went after him. And in the next show, if we want to talk about it, we'll talk about it. I'll tell you guys why. Number 7 was Andrew Bargnani, 2006 Toronto Raptors. They lost out on Marcus Aldridge, Rajon Rondo, and Kyle Lowry. Number 8, DeAndre Ayton. Missed out on Luka, Trae Young, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Brunson. Number 9, Ben Simmons. Missed out on Brandon Ingram, Jaylen Brown, Jalen Murray, DeMonte Sabonis. That's all.
Those were the worst.
Those and
not the worst.
And I know they put Ben Simmons in.
You forgot a bigger one.
Which one?
Greg Oden.
I said Greg Oden.
I didn't you say Greg Oden.
Yeah, Greg.
I missed that one, thinking that you're looking for Ola Candy.
Greg Oden missed out. Trailblazers missed on Kevin Durant, Al Horford, Mike Conley, Marc Gasol, and Joakim Noah. Wow. And the Markelle Fultz, I know why the Sixers got Markelle Fultz, because they needed a point guard. Because if you get a point guard, then you have to. Ben doesn't have to worry about being a point guard. He can be in the post, posting up, making post moves, because he's big enough to make a post move. I get that. I totally get why they went there. It just didn't work out for them. But yeah, that's my soapbox, man. I just wanted to get all my soapbox for a minute. Guys, it's winter meetings for baseball. Tucker about to make an announcement in 2 days. I don't know. I have no idea where he's going. But we'll see what happens, man. Hey, Devin, I appreciate you hanging out with us today, man. You know, you're always welcome to call in and hang out with us, as we always do on Monday nights. Guys, keep Dana in prayer. With his father. Also, Tamara Tamara Says was one of our co-hosts way back. Her name is Cowboy Nikki. She had back surgery a couple weeks ago. I called her. She's doing well. Say some prayers for her as well. And just again, man, just the holiday season. We know we reminisce on families that's going on, and it's really hard sometimes when you think about Thanksgiving and you think about the gathering of the family and the conversations that you used to have and things of that nature. And the sad part about it is this country, we're starting to get away from doing family functions again. Everybody's too busy to come back to be together for whatever reasons. I got cousins I don't get along with, man. But you know what? If they call me and say, yo, cuz, let's do Thanksgiving, I'll do Thanksgiving with them because that's just me. I don't know if that's them, but that's me. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I can talk about you, but nobody else can talk about you. You know what I'm saying? And you have that in families, and it's not good to have family that don't get along. You know what I'm saying? Because as a kid growing up, every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, every New Year's, every holiday was with my grandfather doing something, having fun, man. And then when he passed away, it all stopped. And it hurt as I got older. Even though we stayed close, our cousins stayed close knit, and then we kind of broke away from each other because we all do our own thing. You know what I'm saying? But again, during the holidays, man, just you think about family and things of that nature, and just just do the best you can with it, man. And hopefully you'll still enjoy Thanksgiving. We got some good football games coming on, decent basketball games. We got some college games coming on. The college football playoffs are going to be excellent. And then we got college basketball coming up. Curry's favorite thing. We're gonna dive into that next week. You guys, anything for the good of the order today, guys?
Well, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and I'll be around for soccer because the World Cup's next year.
Okay. All right. That he said soccer. You're gonna come back with some soccer. You know we like talking about some soccer. I saw some soccer this year with the high school team. Oh boy. Oof. I couldn't do soccer.
Yeah.
I couldn't do soccer and cross country I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. All right, guys. Anybody's on the live feed, thank you guys for looking at the live feed. If you put some questions in there, I don't see them. I looked on here, I don't see them at all. But again, thank you guys for hanging out with me. So let me see if I can find my music again because it keeps getting lost. All right, here we go.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by K. Dix from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, G-Dub from Austin, Texas, and Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big time players make big time plays and big time games. Stay ready to be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk Radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support.